to the Baby Names Podcast. I'm Jennifer Moss.
And I'm Mallory Moss Katz.
And we're the founders of babynames.com, the #1 site for names and naming on the web. I want to thank all of our listeners for making the show such a success. Even with just 3 episodes in our pocket, we've already had thousands of downloads. So that means that we must be doing something right.
Woo-hoo.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, please take a moment to subscribe to the Baby Names Podcast and leave a rating and review. That helps other listeners find our show.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mal, I thought we could add a little segment at the beginning of the show and talk about any cool or unusual names that we've come across since the last episode. Now, as Mallory said in another ep, I used to pore through the phone book for interesting names as a kid, and now I study TV show credits, and I've discovered some interesting ones, including, and I assume this is a variation of Malachi, but it's spelled Malicky, so it sounds like Maliki. What about you, Mal?
Well, one of my favorite names that I've heard lately is a female coworker, and her name is Ferial, and some of us call her Faye for short. That reminds me of a family friend growing up named Felicia, and we had a cool nickname for her, Flash. Other names are Sierra, but that was spelled different, Ciara.
Like the singer.
Yeah, okay. In the Irish spelling, and Kalani, Kalani, like the dancer on Dance Moms.
Cool. Do you know what kind of name Ferial is? What's the ethnicity of that?
I don't know offhand, although the woman is Hispanic.
Oh, interesting. There's a new TV show called Alex Inc., which is actually all about a podcasting dad, and his daughter is played by an actress named Audyssie James, kind of like a mashup between Audrey and Odyssey, because it's Audyssie. I like the name, but I think she's going to have to spell it for people all of her life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless she becomes like Beyonce famous or something. I looked at the credits, and other cool names were Symera, Symera, Ion Ray, which sounds really futuristic, and Kyler. What do you think about Audyssie?
I don't like the name Audyssie. It sounds like you're saying Odyssey with a New York accent. Hey, Audyssie, are you listening to me?
Okay, well, so it's officially spring. And this episode, we're going to talk about nature names that are traditionally used for the natural world. They are definitely trending, especially for girls and especially flower names. On the babynames.com most popular ranking, which is a little different from the Social Security lists, names like Violet, Ivy, Lily, Iris, Wren, Autumn, and Aurora are trending. Luna, which means moon, is number 12, a name that I don't quite care for. I identify the name Luna with lunatic, and to me, it's like calling a baby psycho. What do you think, Mal?
No. I like the name Luna, actually. It reminds me of a book by the author Delacorte, who wrote the book Diva, too, which became a very popular movie in the 80s, and one of my favorite books back then. And I think Luna's pretty. I'm sure it became much more popular recently from the Harry Potter character, Luna Lovegood.
Oh, so that's why it became popular. Yeah, I'm not a Potter person, so I wouldn't have known that. We will be doing an episode on character names and their influence on baby naming very soon. Other nature names that are rising fast on the charts are Willow, Meadow, which came into pop culture consciousness from the TV series The Sopranos. Mm-hmm. Also, Daisy is rising really fast, and that's a name I wanted to use for my daughter, but her name would have been Daisy Mendoza. So my mom said it sounded too Daisy Dozy, and she thought it was a terrible name, but I still liked it.
Mom was very picky about the sound of names. She didn't like much that was alliterative or sing-songy. which was pretty ironic since she named me Mallory Moss.
That's true. I love alliterative names. That's one of my big loves. Anyway, which is why I gave my daughter the initials MMM. Nothing really stands out on the boys' side of the charts, which indicates that parents are more likely to use nature names for girls. And expect Violet to be making its way to the top of the charts very soon. Although it's number 47 on the U.S. Social Security list, I ran our trending names this week, and it's number 3.
Violet reminds me of Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You're turning violet, Violet? I don't know.
I think we know that reference because we're old, but I don't know how many of the millennials will remember that line. Do the kids now watch the original Willy Wonka, or do they remember the one with Johnny Depp, which was pretty bad?
Either way, I think that they're going to know Violet Beauregard. But
well, it's becoming really popular now, so I guess they don't care.
I guess not.
Anyway, this is a good time to explain how our popularity charts are a little different from the Social Security website charts. Our charts are derived from an algorithm from our visitors' favorite name lists. That means people who are pregnant, who are just thinking about becoming pregnant, or just love names are indicating what names they prefer at this moment in time. Therefore, our name popularity lists have actually predicted the birth name trends anywhere between 1 and 3 years out.
Mm-hmm.
We can also see what names are trending in real time, which are posted daily on the babynames.com homepage. The other really significant difference between their list and our list is that the Social Security office ranks names by computer only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, therefore it doesn't see homophonous names as the same names. And homophonous names are names like Lily with 1 L and Lily with 2 L's. Now we go through and combine the statistics for all spellings of the same name. So when Aiden was trending with an A or an E, we saw it as the number 1 name for several years before it hit the top of the Social Security charts because they split the stats between the 2 spellings. Now, whether you feel that Aiden with an A and Aiden with an E are the same name or not, you'll want to take this into account when you're looking at both lists. Same goes for Jackson with a CK and Jackson with an X. So speaking of homophonous and nature names, the name Rain has appeared on the Social Security charts, but it's Reign, R-E-I-G-N, as in what a queen does over her people, not rain like the weather. So listeners, you tell us whether you think Rain and Reign should be counted as the same name. That's a really tough one.
Some other nature names that are jumping onto our charts are Sky, Rio, which, means river in Spanish, Rose, Juniper, Dahlia, Magnolia. As you can see, flowers are in. I think Dahlia is pretty, but it definitely reminds me of one of the most famous murder victims of all time, the Black Dahlia. And Magnolia? No, I don't think so.
Why don't you like Magnolia?
Well, I do like the nickname Maggie, but Magnolia just reminds me of I don't know.
Steel Magnolias, the movie?
No, don't like it. Sorry, preference.
All right.
Anyway, we can't overlook another subset of spring names, the start of baseball season.
Yeah!
Some of my favorite baseball player names are naturally from the Chicago Cubs.
Woo-hoo.
So we'll start with newcomer to the Chicago Cubs anyway, Yu Darvish.
Yu Darvish.
YU is his first name.
Cool.
Yeah. Also, I like the name Javier with the name Javi.
Mm-hmm.
Addison is one of my favorite Cubs names for Addison Russell.
That's awesome. Addison is such the perfect Cubs name because Wrigley Field is on the street called Addison.
And don't forget the name Wrigley could work for either a boy or a girl.
Yeah, that's true. I love the name Wrigley. It's so cute.
If I have to pick a non-Cubs name, I guess, I would have to go with Bryce for Bryce Harper, Bryce from the Washington Nationals. Oh, and I can't forget Nolan Arenado from the Colorado Rockies.
But I know the old baseball player Nolan Ryan, which kind of influenced the name Nolan and put it onto the charts.
Well, you never know. Maybe that's how he got his name.
Possibly. Of course, now I had to go sifting through the roster for some cool names, and I found Chance Sisco from the Orioles, Chasen Shreve, and Tyro Estrada from the Yankees. I also like Dalton Pompey from the Toronto Blue Jays, and this is a cool one, Gift Ngope, I think it's pronounced, from the Toronto Blue Jays. His real name is Mfo Gift Ngope, and he's from South Africa. Aside, I think Gift is a really cool name. It's kind of like bless or blessing. Anyway, Adbert Alzolay is the starting pitcher from the Cubs. And then my favorite, which is not a player, but he's a coach for the Giant, is Chad Chop. And I think that sounds really cool. And I'm going to Chad Chop the Cubs if they don't go all the way this year. I can't wait another century.
Me either.
And now it's time for Names in the News. Miley Cyrus sparked rumors that she was preggo when she posted some racy Easter photos taken for Vogue magazine, in which she is especially boobious. I don't know. I think this might be a publicity stunt because I've seen the picture and yeah, it's all cleavage, but one, it's like taken from way on high looking down at her, so of course it's going down her bust. And two, wouldn't your first conclusion be breast augmentation? Like, why pregnancy? Anyway, her people responded that nope, she's not pregnant. She was just wearing a push-up bra. So, okay.
All right. Well, British actor Eddie Redmayne, who played Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything. Goodbye, Stephen Hawking.
Aww.
Yeah. And his wife, Hannah, welcomed their second child, a baby boy, on March 10th. They used a fairly traditional name, Luke Richard. The name Luke is a Greek place naming from Luciana, or is it Luciana? I'm not sure.
I think it's Lucania.
Lucania?
Or Lucania.
Lucania. I think that's probably it. He joins big sister Iris Mary, who is 21 months old.
See, I told you those flower names are huge for girls. But as for Luke, I'm not a fan of using nicknames as given names, but I get that Luke and Lucas are a little different, like Jake and Jacob, but I guess it's just a matter of taste.
Yeah, like Luke Perry.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, anyway, Michael Bublé and wife Louisana Lopalato is expecting their... Let me try that again.
Do you want to try that again?
All right. So Michael Bublé and wife Louisana Lopalato are expecting third child. The pair has two sons, Elias 2 and Noah 4, who was diagnosed with liver cancer in 2016. Both Bublé and Lopalato put their careers on hold to focus on their family at that time.
I didn't realize he had a son with cancer. That's sad.
Yeah. As of last year, though, they've announced that Noah's doing well.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah. Yay for Noah. Actor Stanley Tucci and his wife, Felicity Blunt, who's the sister of actress Emily Blunt, are expecting. They already have one son, Matteo, who's 3. Tucci, who's 57, has 3 older children from a previous marriage, twins Nicolo and Isabel, 18, and Camilla, 15. I like his name choices.
Jennifer, you left out how old Felicity Blunt is. Do you know the answer to that question?
I do not.
Alexa, how old is Felicity Blunt?
This would answer your question. Felicity premiered on September 29th, 1998.
No, it's not.
Back in November, singer-songwriter Ray J and wife Princess Love, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, announced that they were expecting. Now the couple has confirmed that they're expecting a baby girl. Ray J's real name is William Ray Norwood Jr.
I have already named the baby. It should be Brienna Love Norwood to honor his sister, Brandy. There you go, Ray J, and I won't even charge you. For our listeners across the pond, actor and TV personality Declan Donnelly is going to be a first-time dad with his wife, Allie Astall. Deck and Allie were married in 2015 after dating for only 1 year, but they had actually been working together for over 10 years, as Allie was Deck's manager. How cute is that? I wonder if she's going to be a momager, too.
And our last story, although it's not a celeb, is a wacky one. A 29-year-old woman in Pensacola, Florida, thought she had bad Chinese food as she was having some stomach pains. Guess what? She was in labor. Crystal Amerson had a baby boy named Oliver James in the back of an ambulance, and this was not the first child for Crystal. So guess what?
I don't know about that. I mean, I know it was a whole TV show and everything, but how can you not know you are pregnant? Like, come on, people. It's ridiculous. 9 months?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hard to believe, but I guess people do it.
Okay. Well, let's move on to our Q&A segment. If you have questions for me and my sister Mal, please email us at podcast@babynames.com, but we're going to be super honest.
That's right. No holds barred.
So I received an emergency message over Facebook, and she gave me permission to use this in the podcast because I think it's really interesting. She said, "Dear Ms. Moss, I'm really sorry to bother you with this personal message and my problem. My name is Lucia, and I'm from Slovakia. My boyfriend is from Nigeria, and I almost stopped reading after this because I thought maybe it was a scam, but then luckily I read on. She said they're expecting a baby girl, and she just checked the registering of a name in the office here in Slovakia, and they did not accept the name Damilola because they could not find it on any, quote, official baby names registries or lists. But they did list our site, babynames.com, as an acceptable registry, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And there are baby naming laws in many countries, and I know Slovakia is pretty strict on their baby naming laws. They will not let you use a name that's not considered a real name. So she wanted to use the name Damilola. It is a Nigerian female name from the Yoruba tribe in Africa. So I went and added it to the list. She said that she felt ashamed because of some stupid country rules, but she was so grateful that I added the name, and I felt good because now she can name her baby Damilola.
Do we include every name in our database that users suggest?
No, we don't. Like, I seriously do vet the names. Now, if it is a created name, and a lot of people do create names, and they're cool, as long as they're not offensive and they're serious about submitting the name, then I will consider it and add it to the database.
Okay. Because, I know a lot of people will create names of, like, say, combinations of mothers and fathers' names, for instance.
Yeah. That's actually really popular in Utah in the Mormon culture, is to use both mother and father's name to create a child's name.
Okay. So things we learn. I'll read the next one.
Okay.
Dear Jennifer and Mallory, I'm 6 months pregnant, and my husband has agreed that I get to name this baby. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I love nature names, especially Cloud. But our last name is kind of clunky, Schwartz. Do you think Cloud Schwartz?
Oh, look, you're already laughing at it.
All right, sorry. Do you think Cloud Schwartz sounds bad, or should I just go for it because I love it, as Jennifer always says in her column? Sincerely, Lacey. What do you think, Jen?
That's a tough one. What I think is interesting is that Schwartz is a German surname, and it actually means black. And it was used for people with darker complexions or dark hair. So she's kind of creating a name that means black cloud. And I would consider that before I would consider the sound of it. But if you introduce yourself, hi, my name is Cloud Schwartz. It is kind of clunky. I can understand what she's saying. You know, it's a duplex name, like Brad Pitt. If you talk musically, it's 1-2, which is a duplex name. I don't see anything wrong with Cloud. It's easy to spell and it's easy to pronounce, but I think the two names together do make it kind of a clunky name. What do you think?
In my opinion, I think Cloud should be the middle name. I can totally see Marie Cloud Schwartz or Bianca, my favorite first name.
That means white, so it would be white black. That's kind of cool, actually.
My favorite kind of cookie. Bianca Cloud Schwartz or something like that, I think would sound better. Now, as an aside, says sincerely Lacey. I love the name Lacey. That's one of my favorite first names.
Yeah, I like that name too. It's very classic.
Yeah, I think so as well.
So you're saying yes or no? You're saying that use Cloud as a middle name, and I say try to think of something else.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I have a friend whose name is Darcy. I won't say her last name, but her father named her middle name Dancer, and that's what that reminds me of. Darcy Dancer. You know, when you're gonna use, don't laugh, I like it.
Darcy
when you're
Dancer, I don't know, it sounds like a song.
It does sound like a song, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I think when you're gonna use a noun as a name, really consider the middle name.
Yeah, it's a good place to put it. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode.
If you have a question for us or just general feedback about the show, email podcast@babynames.com.
And don't forget to follow us on social. We're all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, everywhere at babynames.com with the DOT spelled out. Babynames, DOTCOM. So do you have any plans for today or this week?
No, I mean, I'm just going to be working hard with all my awesome clients. I'm a nurse practitioner in psychiatry and just working hard with my wonderful folks. And that's about it. What about you?
I'm going to be sitting here in my chair waiting for William and Kate to have their baby while I look up cool baby names for them. Because who knows, they might call.
That's true. They might call. You never know. Also, Jennifer, you are frequently interviewed by the BBC. And
Yep. That's my favorite thing to do. The last thing I was on was Univision. It's a cool interview about baby names. So look it up, Jennifer Moss Baby Names on Univision in both Spanish and English.
Hola.
Yeah. So adios. Have a great couple of weeks and I'll talk to you later, Mal. I love you.
Love you too. Bye, guys.
Bye.